Lesson 6-17, Compare and Order Rational Numbers. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to compare rational numbers as well as order rational numbers. In today's lesson, we're going to be comparing numbers, and remember, when we're comparing, we're using the greater than, the less than, and equal to signs. So for our first example, we're going to compare -6 to -8 and 1/2. So we can use a number line in order to compare numbers. So if we take a look here, we have -6. So let's plot that on the number line. That would be right here. We would put a dot and then label that -6. Then we need -8.5. 8 is right here and 9 is here, so 8.5 is going to be right here in the middle. So let's put a dot there, and then we label that -8 and 1/2. Now we need to remember that the number farther to the right is the greater number. So remember, we increase and get greater when we go to the right, and we decrease when we go to the left. So the number to the right is the greater number. So the number to the right here is -6. That's the greater number because it's getting closer here to 0 and to the positive side. So -6 would be the greater number. So we would fill that in. -6 is greater than -8 and 1/2. So let's take a look at another example. Let's compare -3 to -4/2. So let's simplify this -4/2. So we would have -4 divided by 2, which equals -2 times. 2 goes into 4 2 times, so that's where the 2 is, and we bring this negative sign over. So that would be -2. So now we're comparing. We can write the -2 right here if that would help. -2. Okay? So now we're going to mark these on our number line. -3 is right here. And we write -3. And then we have -2. -2. So remember, it's the one that is farther to the right is our greater number. So the one farther to the right is -2. So that would be right here. -3 is less than -4/2. Okay, so here's a couple for you to try. -1/2 compared to -3/4, and then -4 compared to -6/3. So go ahead and pause the video and try this. You'll write a number line down on your paper, and then come back and see how you did. Okay, so for this top one, -1/2 compared to -3/4. I would put -1/2 right here, -1/2, and then -3/4, that's going to be even closer to this one, so it would be here. I'm going to put that right up here, -3/4. So which one is farther to the right? It would be my -1/2, so that's the greater one. Down on the bottom, I have -6/3. So I'm going to simplify that. 3 goes into 6 2 times, so -2. So I'm comparing -4 to -2. So here's -2 to -4. So the -2 is farther to the right, so that one is my greater number. -4 is less than -2. So we can also use a number line in order to put these numbers in order from least to greatest or greatest to least. So we're going to use 0, +1.5, and -2 and 5/10 as our example. So our first step would be to plot them. So we have 0 is right here, 0. Then we have +1.5. It's going to be right in the middle of 1 and 2. And then I write 1.5. Then I have negative 2.5, which is 2.5. So that would be right here. And then I write it negative 2.5. Okay, so now I need to put these in order from greatest to least. So my greatest number is farthest right, that's here, 1.5. So if I'm going greatest to least, I'm going to put this number first and I'm going to work to my left because left is going to the least. So I would put these in order with it being 1.5, positive 1.5. The next would be 0. And the last would be negative 2.5. Or 2.5 or 2.5. Okay, so I want you to draw a number line on your paper and try these. I want you to put these in order though from least to greatest. Okay, you've got 5, 0, and then 2 over 1. And then on another one, you can do negative 3, negative 4.5, and 2. Pause the video and then come back and check your answers. Okay, so for this top one, we have positive 5, so that would be marked right here, positive 5. Then we have 0. And then we have 2 over 1, which equals just 2. So that's right here. So now I need these in order from least to greatest. So I'm going to start over here on the left, and I'm going to move to the right for least to greatest. So I would put 0, then 2 over 1, and then last I have positive 5. I can put a positive here as well. Okay, so for the bottom one, we have negative 3, so we would mark that right here. Negative 3. Then we have negative 4.5, so that would be right here. Negative 4.5. And then I have positive 2. So I'm going to put a green over it and mark that right here. So for least to greatest, remember I'm going to start at the left and go to the right. So my least number is right here, negative 4.5. So it would go negative 4.5, negative 3, and then positive 2. Alright, go ahead and rewatch any part of the video you need to and go over your notes before beginning today's lesson.